What's going on, everybody? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I hope y'all are doing well. Today, we're gonna have a quick chat. Not gonna stay too long, but you know, I was talking about a few things that came to mind recently within the last few days regarding just everything being down in crypto. Like for a lot of us that have been in this market, it's not new. This is nothing new at all. Um, but for the community, with the blockchain and the DEX to accompany the token, and going through this is basically fresh and new for the community in that sense. Hex didn't have its own blockchain in the previous bear market. Now it does, right? Hex didn't technically have its own DEX. Now it does, right? So there's been considerable, considerable advancement that's been made, that's been done, that's been developed, and these things are active. They're here, and like I've said recently, at some point, we have to make the decision to decide what are we going to do because these things are available. How are you going to use it? How are you going to allow these things to be, uh, you know, bring some benefit to your life, right? I've seen some people just sow seeds of just confusion on purpose. I've seen people voice their displeasure about how everything has occurred and, you know, anything and everything the founder talks about gets dissected and analyzed and reanalyzed and overanalyzed to where, look, the blockchains are here. The blockchain is here. Dex is here. The copies are here. Like, yeah, it's if you want to hold on to, remain cynical, it's not a good feeling to see what you sacrifice for can be bought or acquired at a cheaper rate. It's not a good feeling, but that's if you remain cynical, glass half empty, you know, you wish there was more, you wish the price was just higher, blah blah blah, but it's not right now. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Think about, as a sacrificer, what you went through to get to this point, right? So many people, everyone has a story. Everyone went through something. Especially if you sacrifice, this is a message for those who sacrifice. A lot of it, because a lot of this stuff that I talk about is coming from a certain perspective. People are coming in and they're entering fresh in the market. I have no clue what I'm going to say, what I'm speaking about as a sacrifice. They don't know. They don't know. Sometimes I offer these things because I think personally it might offer some type of help to others. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my viewers, supporters, folks who are like-minded, and shout out to those who are the extreme opposite, because you need to have the opposing view to understand where you stand, right? But sometimes we need. I know that there's strength in numbers, and I offer content because people might need some type of reassurance or support. So I offer it. And as a sacrificer, like, not a lot of people in this world really know what just went down. When you've been a sacrificer for 2 years by default, you didn't know how long you had to wait, but you were waiting. You didn't know whether it was going to materialize or not, but it's here, right? You didn't know if you're gonna get your copies or not, but it's here. You know, you also didn't know to the point where you might have sacrificed for other projects. You might have sacrificed for other coins, other tokens, other projects because this is what you got caught up in. You don't know if it's going to materialize even now. There's some projects you're still waiting to come onto the blockchain because you were a sacrificer. This is something that a lot of people in this world won't understand. Yeah, you could relate it to ICO and all that, but this was slightly different. This was slightly different. You have a situation where the founder created a token, faced tremendous hate. Not just him, but the entire community faced tremendous hate. The token did very well. He decided, because of the conditions of the blockchain that the token was on, Ethereum, S-load function, everything was just too expensive, hurting Hexicans for them to emergency end stake. They got to pay an exorbitant amount of fees to get their stakes out. Those who, held to their agreement, even emergency end stake, not just emergency end stake, but just end staking, had to pay an arm and a leg. How many limbs do you have to give today? So he decided to create a sacrifice to create an entirely new blockchain. I feel like sacrificers need their own support group. Godfather J6, salute. Salute to you. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers. I feel like sacrificers need to have their own support group. I mean, for real. And not support group because everything is just doom and gloom. It's just because we went through something that non-sacrificers will never understand. They just won't. And from the experiences that we've collected during this 2 years, we could actually offer, if we choose to, or if we want, it's a personal thing, could offer the world our perspectives on things, right? This 2 years, I was forced to delay my gratification. I was forced. We were forced to delay our gratification. And it tested our core convictions because I was hearing all kinds of opinions from people left and right who were against the entire system, saying that nothing is going to happen. This is it's a scam. It's here now, though. It's here now. And while it's here, people forgot. They were just hoping that, okay, once this thing launches, the prices are just going to go up and not drop down below sacrifice price. That's not what took place. It's not what takes place. You know, they often go back to what happened with Hex. When Hex came out first day, price dropped, tanked miserably to the point where, and this was said before it launched, Richie Rich told everybody don't get in on the first day. As far as the auction lobby, don't get in on the first day. And people didn't listen. They got in on the first day and the price dropped miserably. And for the first month and change, everything was doom and gloom, just like how it is now. It's funny how history tends to repeat itself, right? That's why I always say it does repeat itself. People say, oh, no, it doesn't repeat itself, but it sure rhymes. How about it repeats itself and it rhymes? It might not be identical, but you could see the patterns reoccurring. And that's what's happening now. People get flustered. They talk themselves out of situations. It's funny, they end up selling now and basically selling against their future. That's painful. Remember, as a young person, I learned about mutual funds. And I wanted to mimic these old traditional uh, finance investing systems on how to invest money. And I was learning and I was learning, and I saw like, man, $100 can't get you far investing in a mutual fund. So what they would give you is a chart, a 10, 20-year, 25-year, 35-year chart to show you how at 8%, if you invest $100 over 35 years, you would probably see a million or whatever. I don't know what the numbers were, but they would show you these scales and these charts with mutual funds. Ideally, I just wanted to learn how to become self-sufficient and independent, right? But I did not have the tremendous amount of capital that you need to infuse into the stocks, into mutual funds, into the financial legacy system, right? To create that perpetual machine of that generates wealth for you. You need a big, 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 big sum of money to invest to then live off the interest, the yield, comfortably or handsomely in the world of equities, in the world of traditional finance. It's so much different on this side of the this side of the pond. It's so much different. Imagine a young person who's looking at that. Me, and this was like early 90s. I'm learning about mutual funds, and they show me, oh, if you invest in this, 500 index fund, you put $100, you DCA $100 into this mutual fund. Over 35 years, you might see $1 million at a certain percentage. Who is going to risk? I mean, it's not who's going to risk, because people have risked it. This is something that has been given as a tool on how to become wealthy and rich. The time factor was ridiculous for me, though. I'm saying to myself, there got to be a better way. 35, 40 years, there got to be a better way. For a working class person, a person who's working, who is not receiving a pension, or who cannot even buy into the pension because their employer doesn't offer that, they have to find their own private means to create some type of retirement plan, right? I remember when the traditional IRA was a thing. I remember when Roth IRA was a thing. You need to infuse so much money, and for the little person, they could only put in a little bit at a time over a period of time. $50, $100, $25 over years to amass something. And then you feel after so many years pass by, you're thinking to yourself, well, you put so much time in this that you can't get back, and you only coming out with 100K after 20 years, 100,000, 50,000 to live off for the rest of your days. That's gonna be gone just with medical expenses. you know Here we are, we have crypto. That's almost like such a cheat code. It offers us just this opportunity to cut through the BS, to allow time to work in our favor, aggressively work in our favor. Even though we can't control time, but we've allowed certain formula to take place, math, using code, right? And the behaviors of people, combine all those things, right? Some type of consensus, connectivity, right? Combine all these things, put them on these things called blockchain, smart contracts, tokens, immutable this, permissionless that, to work on our favor. So we don't have to kill ourselves for 40 years making other people rich. We have these things now at our whim that we could use to benefit us. And yeah, there's going to be moments where prices are low. For some people, like I've said, they take advantage when prices are low. They're happy. Their folks are happy. It's like, yo, it's a holiday for them. They're celebrating because they could buy at a fraction, at a discount. This is a fire sale. Some people see this as a fire sale. If you don't believe in this, then you're not going to care either way. But if you believe in this, if you believe in this, You've seen what things that what can be done, the potential, whatever, and you have the ability to make a decision because you ready to take the chance and basically you identified the risks and you position well enough to make a decision, then things may work out for you in the future. It may very well work out. You don't talk yourself out of a situation. You don't talk yourselves out of bags, out of opportunities. You know how many people, when you look back, you always have to think of your security. You always have to think of your safety. But you're gonna look back, right, at this time now, and you're gonna say, "Wow, so many people in the future are gonna find out about what took place here." Because the sacrifices didn't just end because Pulse Chain is here. No, it actually got reignited. The sacrifices didn't just end because the airdrops were given out. For some of us, it got reignited and it continues. For many of us, we were sacrificing before the Pulse Chain and Pulse X sacrifice phases. So we're familiar with extending ourselves in a certain way for a greater good. Familiar, this is not brand new. But when you look back, folks are going to look and say, wow, they're going to wish they were in our positions today. Talking about friends, family, professional, wherever. They're going to look back and wish, whatever circles you have, you're a part of, they're going to wish that they were you. They were us. Imagine some point in the days of tomorrow where you have somebody ask you, oh, were you such and such Pulse Chain, Pulse Hex, and all that? Were you? And then you say, well, you had sacrificed. And they're like, oh, you sacrificed? Wow. Wow, you sacrificed? And then you inevitably tell them, yeah, but you know, you sold. You sold because you got upset because it went below. Not because you needed it, not because you needed the money, but you sold because prices dropped 90% from sacrifice phase or 50% or just went below and you got out. And things are so much different than they are now. Then, right, in the future, things are going to be so much different than they are now. And the people are going to look at you like you crazy. They're going to look at you like, what type of sucker ish did you just do? You were already in and then you exited out of the game and you lost your opportunity to, you know. A lot of people didn't experience 10,000 X gains. A lot of people didn't, most people, quiet as kept, quiet as kept. But again, this is transparent, it's captured on the blockchain. Many people didn't experience 10,000X because many people didn't buy at 4 zeros and a 5. Okay? What I mean by many people didn't buy at 4 zeros and a 5, at Hex's all-time low, from what I've understood and what I've seen, it was at 4 zeros and a 5, early January 2020. Early January 2020. Not many people bought the token then at 4 zeros and a 5. Okay? From that point to, I guess, the fall of 2021, when the price of the token reached 55 cents liquid, there goes your 10,000X multiplier. 4 zeros and a number. Where are the prices hovering at now for the tokens that you believed in, for the blockchain that you believe in, for the DEX tokens that you believe in, and that was just airdrop? Where are the numbers hovering at now? This is why I say folks don't know. People can't tell you and predict the future. Back then, January 2020, I couldn't stand Hex. I was one of the people that was just talking about how Hex is a scam, all of that. January 2020, I was going hard. That's when Hex was at its low point, the lowest so far, lowest. 4 zeros and a 5. I remember that like it was yesterday. This is when everything was so high and it was so crazy. It was so brutal. That's why it's almost like history kind of repeating itself. Not the same, not literally, but similar, because the experiences are not that different. Not many people bought at 4 zeros and a 5. Not many people bought them, but the price alone, the mechanics of the token alone went up 10,000x on its own without anybody's feelings, sans anyone's opinions or ideas or perspectives. This is what it did. What do you think is going to happen now if everything is supposed to be here to help the T shares? Supposed to help Hex continuously perform and operate. Pulse chain. Pulse chain is for Hex too. Like, don't forget, right? This is what we're doing. Hex has his own blockchain now. It's called Pulse chain. You know, I think the information or the efforts that the founder has done within the last 3, 4, 5 years up to this point, excuse me, up to this point to reinvigorate, not even reinvigorate, to educate and market and spread the word on Hex has been great because the community has expanded between now and back then. It's expanded by, by a lot, or orders of magnitude, maybe, but it's expanded. It's a lot bigger than it was back in 2020, 2021, right? But the thing that folks have to now come to grips with, like seriously, which is what they should have been understanding, is again, when he said that he doesn't work for anybody, well, there you go. He doesn't work for anybody. So why are you expecting anything? See, these are the things that folks have a hard time, are going to have a hard time digesting and processing. They're going to have a hard time digesting and processing that truth because it's real. It's real. Right? There's levels to everything. Folks are going to find out sooner or later how how much do you believe? You're going to find out. Hmm. Because a person has to understand, like, you got to see everything. It's like sometimes it's right in front of you, just folks are unwilling to accept what's in front of them sometimes. I wouldn't mind a stream or two from RH or whatever, but I'm not depending on that. I can't. I can't depend on that. you know People have asked me on my side of things, folks I've onboarded, what I think, how come he's not streaming, et cetera, et cetera. And I've said the same things to them that I've said on the internet. Like, after a while, you gotta just understand, listen, you're given what you need, go execute, go perform, go act, go work, go do what you have to do, you know, go do what you have to do because it's here. It's here. And the reference that is true, shout out to Black Levin, is true. What did the Bitcoiners do when Satoshi left? What did they do? Did they let Bitcoin go to zero? How do you let something go to zero? Like, I don't know. That's another topic for a different discussion. But did Bitcoin go to zero after Satoshi left? That's it. And these creations, innovations are supposed to be better than BTC, or for more, I guess, than BTC too. But if you don't believe that, then that's not gonna help things grow or expand, or the value proposition will weaken. What are we talking about? It's the get rich quick mentality, that the greed, get rich quick, greed, temptation, all these things that folks allow. This drive to chase money, 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 money. Instead of allowing the money to chase you, people are doing the reverse. And I've been victim of that too, because we were taught we were taught to bust our behind to chase money, when it should have been the opposite. Allowing your knowledge to put into action, applying what you know, and then the money will come chasing you. You think it's natural to get up when you don't want to get up, and work obscure hours, days at a time? You think everyone wants to do that? Some people could do that because they just have the interest, and it's in their nature to just continuously be active and perform that way. But a lot of people, too much of anything ends up not being too good for you, right? Too much of anything. That's why balance is important. And when you don't have the freedom to live as you want, to enjoy life as you want, because you find yourself in a situation where you constantly have to work to pay bills. You're not even working to live, you're living to work. It takes away so much from what's out here, from the quality of life and opportunities, and moments to experience and explore life, and the great things that it has to offer. you know I don't know. I don't know, folks. you know so don't lose your head, people. Don't lose your heads. Remain committed to your convictions, to what's going on right here. This is hard for people, I get it. But this too will pass. This too shall pass. you know but at least right now, just look at it in a sense where, all right, certain things are out of your control. All you can do is work on how you control yourself, how you respond, how you react to certain things, and keep your mind at peace, at ease with that, you know. And we take it from there. And on that note, people, I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Take care.